Good morning.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hi, we're doing good. How are you?
Good morning. Wonderful. Thank you for joining us today. For those of you that don't know, this is Josh and Rebecca Soto, and we are super excited to have another married couple doing real estate on the show. I want to talk about, you guys got a new book out, I believe, called Married in Real Estate.
That's right, Married in Real Estate.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. We're very honored to have this opportunity to be with you guys today.
Awesome. Thanks.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
It's like this will be a good day. It's a hashtag thing. It's like our counselors. Like
we get to talk to another couple doing the same thing as we are, married. And what a unique situation that is, right?
I love it. And I find that, couples in real estate actually usually gravitate towards each other because we're all curious as to what are you guys doing? How do you guys make it work? And kind of just seeing how everyone balances, work, life, and just getting it done.
So I guess tell us a little bit about your backstory. Who got into real estate first? Did you guys get in together? How did this all come together?
All right, I think I'll go first. Josh and I met at a previous job that I had. I used to work in the dental field, and Josh was a truck driver at the time. And so he came in as a patient one day into our office, and my office manager, for whatever reason, just instantly said, "You guys have to meet." And so I and take care of him, and we detail that whole story in our book. But I was kind of new on the job, so I was a little stunned at first. I was like, "What do you like?" She's trying to hook me up with a patient. And I'm like, "I don't know, this is my job. I just started."
It's a test.
So I end up bringing him in, and nothing at first. He's just a patient, right? And I'm just taking care of him. And at the end, before he leaves, he's in a conversation with the doctor. They're talking about football. I'm trying to get in the conversation, feeling all kind of out of place. I don't really know football like that. So, anyways, I start to walk away, and instantly Josh tries to hook me back into the conversation. I said, okay, you didn't let me walk away. I like that.
That's awesome.
We end up switching numbers and just kind of getting to know each other. And, that's where it started. And then from there, we end up, fast forward 3 years later, we get married. And we're still in the same industries and kind of unhappy and wanting to do something more. Josh's job is really taking a lot out of him. And so one day, a friend of mine, as I'm doing my rounds, kind of seeing my clients, and she's like, "Rebecca, you work real estate the way you work this business, you'd be really good." And I went home and I was like, we got to do this. We got to do this together. So I think it was about this time of the year also, because we took the last real estate course offered for the year. And we took the course together, passed it, and then the test is like the following year, and we instantly get licensed, and it's been 14 years. So it's been amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you guys just went into it together right from the beginning. You knew you wanted to do this together.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, because we didn't start it together. It was something that kind of evolved, which it was great. So I started first, and then about a year in, was kind of overwhelmed. And he's owned his own business since he was 19. So he had taken his first corporate job in order for us to move to Florida, right? Because we lived in Ohio and we wanted to make the move. And he hated it. Like, he was miserable working for somebody else. So I started, I was really busy, kind of overwhelmed. And then he got his license, and it just kind of evolved. But I think one of the things for us we've always kind of worked together just because he's owned his own business and I always helped with the businesses. But it was definitely a transition for me because I always was kind of more support to his businesses in the past. But in this role, I kind of was the one who started it, and all of a sudden he came in, and I'm like, wait, what are you doing? Like, why are you coming into my world? You're stepping, we're crossing paths. Like, we're really good now that we have like kind of our defined roles.
Right.
Because if we stay in our lanes, we're good. But when we cross lanes, we're both Italian, so We crossed it. The whole world knows that we're crossing paths.
That is, it's funny you mentioned that, because the truth is, in the beginning, you know, Josh had his set of clients, I had my set of clients, and it's like we were individual agents working separately.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, as we continue working together, and of course, liking to be more together, so we would get called in for a listing appointment, we'd both show up and they're like, oh, we got both of you. And you're like, you got 2 for 1. But as we started developing those skills and the strengths, and you start seeing where one of us is better in one area and the other one is better in the other, that's where kind of the roles started kind of like really taking place, and we started seeing where we were better.
Yeah.
So that's how that developed out for us.
So what are the strengths of each of you? Like, what role do you do more of, and what role does he do more of?
So personally, I prefer to do a lot of the computer work, marketing, and things like that, following up with clients. Josh is that front person who's out there in the field. He's going to check out. He's going to do the listing appointments. Although I come with, but it's mostly him. He's that driver. He's talking to everybody, and he's doing the networking mostly. We often talk about that. So I was very shy in the beginning, and I didn't like to go networking. I hated it. I would get into a room full of people, and it was like, oh my gosh, how do I talk to these people? I didn't like people, but it was intimidating to me to just walk up and just say, hi, my name is Rebecca. I don't know why that was so hard.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of fear that kept me just kind of bottled up and closed up to myself. And it took a while for me to get over that. But then once I did, it's like our powers combined, because he is super friendly. He'll talk to anyone. And I think I learned that from you, hon. I kind of learned how to come out of my shell and break out of that, you know, and now I enjoy it. I love going places, love going to networking events and meeting people and just connecting with people. I think that's probably the most fun part for me.
Yeah, I think that, you know, sometimes you have to just kind of get comfortable with the uncomfortable, you know, and I think once she was able to kind of, you know, get the feel of it and feel comfortable with it, I mean, she's amazing now. She's a great presenter, great speaker, so she does a phenomenal job. I feel like I could take a step back now, Jason.
Yeah. No, that's good though, right? It's good because I find that we can both play that role of being the front person, but that also, and it's not really a competition. It's more like whoever's better or more on point that day, right? And we can both alternate that role. Now the back end stuff, man, I don't want to write another contract in my life. I don't want to do any marketing on the back side of things. Whereas she loves that aspect, right? I just want to be out talking to people and in front of people, and I don't ever want to do another piece of paperwork.
It's funny that you say that too, though, because he loves, like, he's Mr. Social. Like, we were at Starbucks the one day, and I saw every person that walked in is like, hi, Jason. Hi, Jason. I'm like, seriously? Like, is there one person that you don't know in our community? And I love it too. Like you said, like, I really do, but I'm still a little bit more introverted than he is. So I need that time. That's why I think I like the system, sometimes the back end, because it lets me just kind of get into my own space, and it's not like I have to be on point with people all day. Whereas he could care less. Like, he would be out. Like, I laugh so hard because I'll come home and he's like the one at the park with all the like stay-at-home moms. Like, what's going on? He knows everything about everybody. And I'm like, I'm gonna go home and have a cup of coffee, maybe a glass of wine.
You know, it's a little story to tell. So we're also very involved with an organization that we have. I think that's helped us a lot to develop more skills and to overcome a lot of the shyness that I had. But in the beginning of it, we got invited to this networking event, and it was all of the different diversity groups, and particularly all the leaders within the diversity group for that year. Yeah. So we're at the Florida Realtors Convention, and they have the penthouse suite, and all these people are there. And so I'm up there, I'm new, and I'm feeling a little intimidated. Everyone seems to know each other. I don't know if anyone else has ever felt that way. Everyone else is having a great time. They're talking to each other, and I don't know how to fit in, how to blend in with everyone, how to jump into a conversation. I think I just kind of like, you know, stand around and try to get into a conversation here, unsuccessful. And then eventually I end up shying away to a corner and just kind of standing, right? As I'm standing there, another friend of mine eventually kind of gravitates to the same corner, and now it's just her and I talking. And someone comes up to me, and he starts to say something like, "Why are you guys in this corner?" Like, his look on his face was like if I thought I was too good for myself or something. And before he could even finish that sentence, because I knew where it was going, I extend my hand. Hi, my name is Rebecca, and nice to meet you. Blah blah blah, and I disrupt the behavior. I don't even let him finish saying what he was going to say. And instead of getting mad that he could perceive me as that, I said, you know what, this is a lesson for me, because the truth is my shyness, my inability to blend in and talk to people was misperceived, and that's my fault. He may have thought I was conceited, I was too good, I was standing in a corner not wanting to talk to people, and it wasn't that, but it looked that way. And so from that day, I said, I can't let people think that of me. And that's my fault. I have to change that. I need to be more approachable. So I just started saying, you know what, forget it. I'm going to get uncomfortable, but I'm going to just start. And even if I'm a little bit of a hugger. So I come up to people and so I'm like, I don't care. Come on in, come in. We're doing it. And I think that has helped me. And I just want to make people feel welcomed, and I want to make people feel the way I want to feel. So I have to be the first one to initiate that.
I love that you brought that up, because I think that that's so true. Like, you know, we sometimes don't always see how others perceive us, because I have a tendency, like when we were in the office, when I'm there, like I just get super tunnel vision on what I'm working on at that time. And so like people would come in and like they would want to talk, and I wasn't ever trying to be rude, but I didn't realize that I was just kind of like had my blinders on. And then somebody was like, I was so afraid of you at first when I met you. And I was like, why? And they're like, you just were always, and I was like, I was just literally just trying to get something done. Because you know how it is when you have your kids at home, like when I'm at work, I'm on, like I got to get it done because I'm trying to get to cheer practice and football games. And so I felt so bad afterwards. I'm like, I'm so sorry that I came across that way, because that was the last thing I ever wanted to portray, but I could see
in our book, we spoke about that too, because in the beginning, it was never like that. You know, honestly, I think that for the first 4, 5, 6 years in our career, it was all about her and I just getting work done, focusing on doing everything we had to do, because we had to get home. At that time, our oldest were young.
Yeah, and, our primary focus was just to get home to the kids. And spend
yeah.
Kids.
Yeah, so it was just like work, and get home, and you know, baseball, softball, all everything that was involved. But it was actually, you know, it wasn't until we were in 2015 we actually took on some. We were offered some positions with our local chapters, and it was a huge opportunity, because it was something I always see it like. I think that so many people seen so much in us that really didn't know who we were, you know, and they knew we were great, you know, top producers in our area and everything, but they really didn't know who we were, because we really didn't care about networking or any of that, you know.
We weren't in events, we weren't applying for, you know, awards or anything like that. So we were not in any of the places. We're not the who's who.
No. But they knew who we were. Some of our some closest realtors that, you know, in the area, that they knew who we were, and they approached us with that opportunity, man. And it was just something that I felt that it was a good opportunity for me to start off. And I remember to this day, man, it's been 5 years already. We've been part of this organization, and
wow,
yeah, I mean, we were able to kind of grow in what I would say, what I mean by personally and professionally, man, because it was
great.
Yeah, it's been huge for us, man. We have a massive network because of this organization, and we're forever blessed with it. You know, we're thankful for that.
That's awesome.
That's really good.
Now, you guys have a team, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and so when did the team come in? Like, when did you guys decide to go that route?
So the team, and it's really in its baby stages. So once we decided, we had our own independent office for like 9 years, and recently, within the past year, we joined the XP. Once we did that, we decided that we wanted to form a team, and so it's really been just a year. The team probably has about 20 members right now, and
that's great.
Overall, the organization keeps growing, so not everybody's part of that team, and we're still kind of, you know, I think trial and error. as we learn new things and see what works, what sticks, what doesn't. So
yeah,
I think that that's been one of the, we started our team, 3 years ago now?
I think so.
But I will say, like, that was one of the things that, like, it was definitely a transition, like, with the husband and wife dynamic, because I think, team members sometimes, I don't want to, because I don't want to sound like negative towards them, but it's almost like sometimes it's like having children, because they'll be like, oh, mom didn't give me the answer I wanted. I'm going to go call dad and see if I can get a different answer or whatever. So I think that was something that was, we knew how we worked together. We had that kind of figured out, what those roles were. And then now it's a whole new dynamic of roles, and we're still navigating that.
I
as
think
things
everybody
come
is.
up, it was
All
like,
team leaders are constantly evolving and learning and growing on how to get better, how to be more productive, how to help the agents be more productive, right? But I think a lot of that definitely from the top down, I think kind of what she's getting at is you've got to be on the same page, because if you got two team leaders in all of our unique situations, that's how we're set up. If we're not on the same page from the top, then it creates uncertainty all the way down.
Yeah,
and that's one of the things that we're working on right now. Because from the beginning, like I would say 95% of them were new agents. So that kind of, that was like, to me, it felt okay because they came in with not knowing anything. So we're able to kind of teach them and mold them. And we really go by three steps when it comes to our teaching platform, and is you see it, you learn it, and you teach it. That's us.
Yeah.
And right now we've been able to have actually 2 team leaders, right? 2 of them right now. We have 2 of our team that started off with us. They're actually moving into the coaching team leading positions right now.
Awesome.
So we've been able to grow them, teach them. Grow them. They're phenomenal leaders. We're very blessed with them, and bless you. And so that's one of the things that honestly, Jason and Jen, that we've been looking at, and it's been working for us because I feel like some of the agents don't have to be seeing us all the time teaching. They're getting a different type of person. Some other individual, some other team member teaching them, and they see that, wow, I remember when they were sitting here at the seat, and now they're up there. So it's more of a motivational part of it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's what I enjoy the most is to not just teaching that group of newly licensed agents, but grooming them to be leaders as well.
I love that. And we had recently talked to somebody else that we had on the interview, and it goes back to everything. Like, there's only so much that one person can handle. And if you really, really want to invest in people, you have to build that structure. And so he was saying that that's what he started doing, is he started bringing on team leaders, and then he would basically have them be like a mentor to 5 or 6 agents in the office. They would be assigned to him. So they had like these little mini teams within their team. But I was like, that's actually really fun. Like, you could do some really fun competitions, like, make it a fun dynamic. And then that way everybody feels, as you grow, everybody feels that they're still staying connected. And there's this ability to grow, right? Like you said, it gives them the opportunity to see that just because I'm on a team, I'm not going to be held to this like little bubble. I can actually take it somewhere else, because I think we just joined EXP 6 months ago now. Yeah. But I will say it's changed our vision so much as to how like a team can work, how a team can grow, how much bigger it can be with this company. And I love the fact that there is so much growth for people being, people in your team, because I think that there's just so many cool ways that you can do it. Whereas I think a lot of other broker models kind of really keep you into this one structure, and it makes it really hard to do that.
Yeah, no, I agree. And exactly what you just mentioned about that team leader, that's exactly what we're doing. Some of the ones that moved up, we're putting some, when I feel like these 2 are fit, we put them in where they'll be their mentor. So and it's been working, because I love the fact that they've gone to their mentor directly, and then if they don't understand, they come to us. Mm-hmm. So it's been working as of right now. I think it's been good.
Yeah.
Let's see how it continues growing, Yeah.
And I think that's great, because then it helps you stay on top of it, because now you're just having to really keep in touch with those team leaders, see how you can support them. He was saying that what he has those team leaders do is their weekly accountability, and then once a month he jumps in with each one. So then that way he's still staying connected, but there's only so much time, and as your organization grows, you can't be there for every single person and still be there for your kids and your family. So.
Right.
Yeah, I recommend that. That's the route to go. I mean, honestly, it's been working for us little by little. You know, we just implemented this like a month ago, right? About a month and a half ago. No,
Well,
It's
longer.
been a work in progress,
Progress,
and then
right.
every time we discover something new that could work, we kind of try to implement that and add it as a complement to what we're doing. So yeah, it's just a combination of different things that we're learning, and we're seeing we do learn from other team leaders and groups, and
of course, yeah.
whatever's working for them, we're like, all right, well, let's try that, and
Yeah, exactly.
that's what we're doing.
And that's the best part about it. You know, we all have each other here, so we're all able to like kind of mastermind and show what's working for them, what's not working for them, and vice versa. And it's been great, man. You know, I love the fact that we have this tribe, this family that we can rely on each other to help each other grow. So
It's been, I think for us, like life changing as far as like how we were really confused and lost on what direction we wanted to go. And, it's definitely changed our thought process a lot, which has changed our business plan and is also kind of making us rebuild some things because, not everybody always wants to follow that same change. But I think overall it's going to be amazing. I'm so excited for all of the opportunities. And like just getting to meet people like you guys, right? I mean, I can't wait. We're going to see you guys in a few weeks in Orlando and to network with everybody. And it's just so exciting. It's funny because I just know so many people that end up, they're in real estate and they're married. Another spouse decides to join. What do you think the biggest piece of advice that you would give a couple going into real estate together?
For me, I think I would say just kind of take notice of each one's strengths and work within those strengths as a complement to each other. Neither one is an assistant to the other. And then just communicate. And my favorite, just find that middle ground because like we have two totally different backgrounds and personalities, and oftentimes we'll have different ideas of how we want to do the same thing, and we'll butt heads often. And I think it's important that each one of us communicate what it is that we want, and then find a way to make it work. So whether it's maybe we can try this and we can do it that way, and kind of taking each side into consideration, and I think that's gonna go a long way.
yeah, I see it like first it all starts with the commitment to work with one another, then compromise, because you got to learn how to compromise, given when it needs to be done. And third of all, it's communication. Everyone thinks communication is the first one. I truly believe it's the third one because if you're committed and you are able to compromise, the communication is going to be a lot easier. So these are the things that we've been working on and learning from. And then it's I would always say that the last one is basically just being around other couples, man, like us, just sharing.
We're inspired by a lot of other couples, absolutely.
So
that's awesome. And then I just had a question. I completely forgot when you were saying something about like the strengths and everything. As far as like the roles go, like are you guys both like team leaders, like both coaching? You guys just share all of that?
Yeah, within the team, of course, the way our company has it set up, Josh is that team leader, but both of us really are equal in front of the whole group. So there's really no one up higher than the other.
Yeah, we're both like.
But I think people do see us for our strengths, so they're going to go to him for certain things, and then they come to me for other things, and that's okay. That's all right.
That's awesome.
That is.
Yeah. And then the other question I had was going back to like I think one of the biggest challenges, I think it's a blessing and a disguise, and not so much in the whole being married and real estate together, because this is a job that it's 24/7, right? It never goes off. And I think a lot of people going in don't understand that. One of the things that I think is a blessing is the fact that he can relate to what I'm going through when it's the late night phone calls or things are going wrong. Whereas I think other spouses, if you're in a different industry, might get really frustrated with that. But then the hard part is it's hard for us, both being drivers, to shut it off.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's really hard to stop and say, we're done with work today. And so how do you guys manage that?
So, I'll be honest, we all go through it. And the reason why is because when you love what you do, you never work a day, right? So it doesn't feel like it's work.
Yeah.
And I like how one of our guests, Kevin Call, had said it feels like it's a baby, and so when you're watching that baby grow, it's hard not to talk about that, right?
Yeah.
So I think one of the things that we have been doing is just trying to find other hobbies that we also love, so that we have that to talk about as well. So I think it's important that you do kind of not just work real estate, find other things that interest you. And so whether it's, the date nights taking you on something that's different. So one of the things that we love doing now, and I keep going back and I'll keep doing it until I get tired of it. But I love going to this one place here local, Nailed It DIY Studio, and we're just making these wood projects together. And I love it because the facility, it could be just Josh and I, or we can invite people. So we took our team and we did a team building event with them. Yeah. A lot of fun. We took our family. We went back just him and I. So we've gone a few times already, and it's always a great time. You're together, you're working on this project, fun conversation, and just kind of excited for each person and their projects at the end of it. So it's a lot of fun, but there's other things that you can do. We had a great time with the Figueroas when we went to, what was the name of that thing? It's that room.
The escape room?
Escape room, yes. Oh my God, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And so we have another real estate couple that says, hey, we want to go out with you guys. And I saw them do this paint room. I don't know. They were just flinging paint.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that was like
go there. So
it's like a stress reliever. You just start throwing everything on there.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Different things. Oh, and I saw another friend of ours that took her son to an axe throwing place.
Yeah.
I want to try that actually.
Yeah.
So I think, it's just mixing it up. I mean, that's something that we've learned as we go along. And one of the things that we've done, and been doing it for a while, probably for like 4 or 5 years, is that every time we travel, we tend to either come in early and leave a little bit later and just spend that time with each other.
Yeah,
just
explore
kind of
wherever we're visiting.
Yeah.
See people. Sometimes friends will say, hey, are you in my town? I'm like, yeah. And then they'll say, let's meet up.
Right.
I'm like, absolutely, let's do it.
I love that.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I love that, especially because a lot of times, especially in this industry, we travel for work-related events and work-related conferences, right? And if you can carve out that extra day or two before or after the event just to spend that time with your spouse, I think that's super important. I know, last time we went to San Diego and New Orleans, we had a great time. We had a great time at the events, but we also had a great time outside of the events as well, just hanging out. So, yeah, totally love that. Where can people get your book?
I was just gonna ask that.
Oh, very easy. Anyone who's interested in reading it can go to marriedinrealestate.com.
Awesome. Good.
Cool. Well, guys, we want to respect your time. We're trying to keep these right under 30 minutes. So we really appreciate having you guys on. We're super excited to see you guys in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And I'm going to order my book. I got to read it so I can pick your brain some more because we need that.
we'll have a copy for you when you guys come down. Don't worry.
Awesome. Cool.
Well, thank you guys so much. It was such a pleasure having you on, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.